This episode is brought to you by Higginbotham, your single source for insurance, wealth management, and employee benefit needs. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour. Grit.
Welcome to the very first episode. Well, actually, it's the second because we've already recorded a first episode, but we needed to re-record the first episode of the Glamour and Grit. Yeah.
Things happen sometimes. Things happen. You've got to go back. You've got to brush the dirt off and try it all over again. Wish it was that easy. Wish we weren't as stressed and so much anxiety as we have right now. But all kidding aside, we did actually film an entire episode that we now have to redo, but that's okay.
I always feel like, don't they say like life is like a dress rehearsal? That was the dress rehearsal.
Boom.
And the dress rehearsal was unbelievable.
Put that on a wall somewhere. That's a great quote.
So let's make the opening night. Dun, dun. Well, actually, it's opening morning. It is Friday morning. Good Friday. Should we tell them like a
Happy
game?
Good Friday.
Thank you. Happy Good Friday to you.
Welcome, guys. We're so
Eric.
happy you're here. Should we?
Hoppy Easter.
Hoppy Easter. That is my go-to text on Easter morning. My uncle sends he has risen, and I send Hoppy Easter.
I'm going to pee my pants.
It's been my go-to since I was little. It will always be my go-to.
Happy Easter, Eric.
I love
Happy Easter.
to wish people a Happy Easter. But Happy Good Friday, and let's talk about why we're here, what we're doing.
Wait, though, can
Let's
I
get
talk
into
about,
this.
though, I have had 2 C-sections, but the first round, I went all the way before the C-section.
What does that mean, all the way?
So
Like you tried to give natural.
I dilated, so I really technically can tinkle my pants. So
Well, you're crying? Are you crying? I don't know if she's. Are you crying?
I really am. The Hoppy Easter really got me going. Okay, but here's the game plan. Fridays, we are going to be coming to you live, 10 a.m. Central Time. Sometimes we might be earlier, sometimes we might be later, but usually 10 a.m. on Fridays, we'll be live kind of talking about what happened that week. And Mondays, Eric, what are Mondays?
Celebrity Monday.
Celebrity Monday.
Which is really, really cool because we've done how many episodes now?
13. Lucky number 13.
That is my lucky number. 13 episodes with not just, because we're actors, we're artists, but
Oh,
not,
are we?
Very much so. We're not just bringing on other actors. We have, well, I don't want to give anything away, but we have some absolutely incredibly influential people in our world today that came and spoke with us and really broke down a lot of, not just about where they're at career-wise and their life, but like really personal stuff. And we're getting to the grit underneath the glamour of what life is like for some of
these influential people
that you see in your life and on media and all over the place day to day.
Wait, Eric, can we talk about what I almost renamed the podcast this morning?
Oh my God, you guys. So this is so sainty, by the way. We get in the car. I've been dressed and ready for hours,
Yes.
right? We get in the car after she's been seeing me run around the house ready. I'm like, babe, this is so exciting. This is our
But
morning.
I feel like I'm such a girl. Like, all we care about is ourselves at first.
I don't know. I want to hear from some of the other girls about this because this is a little. We get in the car. We drive a couple blocks, and she looks at me passively, like just part of the conversation. And she says, if you wear that on our podcast today, this podcast should be called The Glamour and Gross. Straight up. Like, it was so natural.
No, you literally looked gross. Here I am. I mean, I'm still a little edgy, but I have a button down on. I got a spray tan.
You
I
guys.
sprayed myself. Eric is wearing like a used
I had a
sweatshirt.
hoodie on. A hoodie.
A sponsored hoodie.
And my jeans.
Not even a
and-
sponsor of the podcast. Just a sponsored
Listen,
hoodie.
I had a hoodie on and my jeans, and I was feeling amazing. And she looks at me and says, I should be the glamour and gross. So I flip my car into reverse. I don't really say anything because I'm all kind of like now in my head and stressed. And
he flies backwards.
2 blocks, kind of aggressively, but no one was there, so it was fine. I change and I come back. So I hope what I'm wearing now is
You
okay.
look so handsome. A little blended into
Stop.
the background,
No,
but
no,
you
no.
are so
Stop.
handsome.
You're not going to now say all that because.
Have you ever seen the YouTube of the girl that she's like, back it up, back it up, back it
Oh,
up?
of course. That's a
That's
classic.
what it reminds me
That's a Clementine classic.
of.
Um,
I have got the morning giggle.
you have the morning gurgle, apparently. So
The gurgles and the giggles.
let's kind of break down a little bit
Okay.
about how the podcast came to be. You were the one that thought of it. She's had this idea for a podcast for a very
Since
long
like
time.
1999.
Had we done this podcast when she first had the idea to do it, we would have beaten out so many people.
We'd be like podcast gajillionaires.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Do you know what
but
I
it's
feel
been
like?
it's been a long time coming, and it's kind of my fault that it took so long. But
That's okay.
we're here.
Well, I love to talk too.
Well, tell us
And
about
I feel
it.
like it's taken us, yes, 155 years to get here. And do you know those people that are like, guys, I'm watching a TikTok? We're so late in the podcast game. I feel like we're like, guys, we got on Facebook.
It does kind of.
We're launching a Facebook account.
We're on the Facebook, everyone. We finally made it.
It's like that. Do you remember where you were the day that they allowed non-college kids to have a Facebook?
I don't remember that being a big deal.
Oh,
I
my
was like
God.
MySpace. If I just remember wanting to be on everybody's top 8,
Oh, yeah, Zynga.
and who was on yours meant so much, and it was like a really big deal if you were on their top 8.
Okay, do you remember, though, what was your like background song?
Oh, I had so many, but I was like a punk. It
Well,
was
I
like,
was too, but I wasn't a punk, but I was in love with a punk whose name was Julian. He was in the theater, and I always would do, because he had Dashboard Confessional.
Oh, well, okay.
I had to have Dashboard Confessional.
Yeah, I was more like, I don't know, Sum 41 or Blink-182 maybe.
Is Blink-182 the one with the smile on the front?
Yes.
I liked that one.
Yeah,
I
it is.
love Travis.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about like how the Glamour and Grit podcast
Okay, it really came about.
inspired by.
Yes. So I just had our son, Mick, 2 years ago. And when it was a very hard pregnancy, and I was 9 months pregnant when Eric got 1883. Look him up, guys. And it was a really stinky pregnancy. And then I had the son, and I was like, I had the son, the prodigal son.
At least she
And
didn't say my son. She always says like my kids, my son,
my son.
our son.
I had our son, and it just wasn't going well. He was extremely sick. Extremely. And everyone thought I had postpartum depression.
And we had no answers. Like our
No.
doctors didn't know. They kept telling us it was acid reflux. It was this. He's allergic to milk. Like all of these things.
He has
Meanwhile,
stomach issues.
something severely
Physically was wrong.
physically detrimental to his health was happening that we had no idea about.
And he literally was like deteriorating in front of our eyes. His tongue was starting to split. Truly, like if a child is malnourished or
Yeah.
a person is malnourished, the tongue will literally start to eat itself.
Yeah, if you're young and you're within a certain age after birth, your tongue doesn't form fully if you're malnourished. And his tongue literally didn't round at the tip. It kind of like indented.
It was like a snake.
It was yeah, it was kind of like
It was Mickey Snakey.
it was.
So
but
no one believed me, and everyone thought I had postpartum depression, which is very, very real, obviously a very real disease. But to be told that, and I've already had a child, I was like, what is wrong? Am I crazy? And I remember sitting there being like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I didn't know if I didn't want to take my own life. I just didn't want to be where I was. And here Eric is, my husband had his like huge break and living the time of his life. And I am miserable and in hell. And we ended up finding out he had pyloric stenosis and wasn't diagnosed until 3.5 months, which is crazy. They should be diagnosed within like the first 3 weeks. So fast forward, anytime Mick gets something, he's like a preemie. So he'll get something to the extreme. And Eric was on the carpet of doing the Yellowstone premiere.
I was called to host. Now, 1883 is in the Yellowstone universe, but I was called to be the host of the red carpet interviewing for season 5 premiere of Yellowstone. And I get to New York. I'm on the carpet interviewing, all the leads of Yellowstone, while I'm getting texts on my phone that our son's in the
ICU.
ER, and then moved to the ICU, and is about a step away from having to be on a ventilator.
Yes, he was at 71 oxygen, and he had RSV and pneumonia.
So, guys, it's like the 1883 thing my son, we didn't know what was wrong with him. And then little did we know he was about a week away from cardiac arrest
Mhm.
and not making it. Thank God we found out what it was when we did. And that was off of our
Just like gut.
gut. We went to the
Follow your
hospital.
parents' intuition.
Intuition, 1000%. We made the decision to go to the hospital, not our doctors. And they did an ultrasound and they found it within a second. It's a blockage of the esophagus. He wasn't getting food. That's why he was spitting it all up. And it's a surgery. Boom, boom, done. Completely healed within a day. So 3 months of terror and horror healed in a day. All the while I'm away filming my show for months and months at a time, leaving Sainty at the house by herself with the kids. And luckily we've got an amazing family that's there to help. But
as you know, with health, like it doesn't matter how privileged you are to have family around you
no,
or
there's
access.
nothing you can do.
It's
Yeah.
just as if you've had a sick child or sick anyone in your life, it is what it is. But I just remember sitting there being like, we cuss on this podcast. But this is
Because we
just-
want to let it out. We want the real us.
Oh, do real
to
quick.
come out on this thing.
I want to real quick.
Shit. Okay.
And I just remember sitting there being like, this is such bullshit. Like, I want to be able to show real life and show my life and show things and being able to connect to people that on Instagram is so fake. And it's just like a sizzle reel. It's just the top hits
You're
of your life.
showing like the perks of life.
I'm
You know,
showing the fun,
some
the
people
glitz,
get
the
gritty on
glamour.
there, but it's, you want to project this amazing life that we all have at times, but oftentimes we don't, and we don't really show that stuff.
And so I thought it'd be fun. Let's share. Let's share the grit. Let's share the fun. Let's share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what the glamour and the grit is about. But I remember we did a lot of our celebrity interviews in New York. And I remember looking at Eric on the plane ride back and being like, oh my God, like I am so scared. It's all fun and games and we're doing the interviews, but I'm so scared to share myself fully with people because
Like to be vulnerable?
yes, and to like show the world like this is me because you know you're going to get hate from that. And just putting yourself out there knowing no matter what you're going to get hate is super scary.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, I don't know. I don't look at it like that. Like, who do you think's going to hate?
Everybody.
I mean, everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. It's
It's like they're going to hate my color shirt. They're going to hate my hair color. They're going to hate my eye color. Hopefully people won't, but you just have to drown out the haters. You know what's sad is you can have a gajillion people that love you and one person makes a hateful comment and that thing, like that's the comment you just play over and over in your mind.
Yeah, no, I get that. But at the end of the day, we're entertainers, we're actors, we're entrepreneurs, we're producers, whatever. But really, we're husband and wife, we're parents.
Yeah.
And those are our roles.
Yeah. And going 10 years strong on our marriage.
10
10
years,
and a half years now.
which is insane. And the last 4 have gone by way too quickly because of the kids. It really is so true. They're like, time just flies by. I wish I could slow it down somehow.
But I want to slow it down like right now. Like I don't like to slow down newborn. I think newborn
Oh, get
phase
through that.
is the
That's
worst.
so scary.
I don't know how people love it. Like I'm just looking at it and I'm like, just don't. Nothing happened to
Don't
you,
die.
baby. Don't die.
Please,
That
don't
is
die.
newborn phase. It's just please don't die.
So anyway, we're getting through our glamour and grit on here, and we're doing the same with
Our guests.
people. Yeah, our guests. We'll put it that way. And we're really going kind of beyond the curtain and really kind of digging in there.
Let's just dive and dig in, my baby.
But at the same time, there's so much happening in life that we need to talk about and go through. And so the Friday episodes are really our chance to dig in and dive and talk about what's happening and kind of see it through a male and a female perspective and through a married couple's perspective and, hopefully
Through a mom and daddy.
work through some stuff. Like
Ooh, like
earlier,
therapy.
well, yeah, it is. It really is like therapy. But like today,
Yeah, daddy.
we are in a great mood. I mean, the glamour and gross happened, but before that, our 4-year-old daughter, we're like,
Our Molly Morgan.
energy's
our
high.
Momo.
We're excited. We're ready to rock. Had the meltdown of meltdowns this morning because her flamingo plush toy,
Which she hasn't played with in years.
she hasn't played with
Probably
in years,
2 years.
had a Band-Aid on it that she put on there
Yep.
at some point months ago.
2
But
years
today
ago.
was the day she realized that Band-Aid needed to come off. And for the life of us, we could not get this thing off.
Y'all, please sound off of how do you take Band-Aids off of plush toys. because it was horrible. It really was stuck.
But
like
her life was done. It was
Dunzo,
ruined. This toy
ruined.
will never survive this. I can't believe it's come to this. Mom and dad freaking out, and we're just trying to get out the door. Our nanny's there. She is no help because she doesn't know what to do. And thank God, at some point, we throw some hot water on that thing,
And that might be popped right off.
and we got it off. But it was the end of the world.
What are you?
And that happens every day.
Okay, but I want to ask you something because it actually does drive me crazy. How do you feel about the term nanny? When I think the term
I
nanny
got scolded one day.
by me,
Nope. I was picking up Mick from preschool, and one of the nannies was there picking up a student, and I made the mistake of calling her the babysitter, and it was a big no-no, and she was like, I'm not a babysitter, I'm a nanny. We don't use that term anymore. I was like,
wait, for real?
yes.
Wait, I'm actually shocked because I feel like I call all them always like mommy's
It's
best
offensive,
friends.
apparently.
I just feel like nanny feels like that we're not raising our kids and we're always there. It's just like a helping hand.
When you're talking to the nanny, don't use the term babysitter, apparently, because it's not.
It's demeaning.
That's how it made me feel.
I do feel like a little because babysitter sounds like a college girl.
Maybe that's why. But she
But
was a
nanny
college girl,
just- I feel like-
so that's when I'm like,
Oh, it was a college girl?
Yes.
Ooh, girl, get yourself in line.
unless she just looked amazing for her age and looked super young, but like she looked like a college girl.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I agree, though. I just always feel like nanny sounds so. They're more than a nanny. They're family.
So now I got another question.
Talk to
So
me.
we travel a lot for work. We're in, we're out. I'm mainly the one that's traveling because you get to do what you do from your home studio, which is such a blessing.
And if you don't know, I'm on children's shows. I'm a voiceover artiste.
She is. She is. Our kids love all of her shows.
Gabby's Dollhouse Trolls. Gabby's Dollhouse just became new season on Netflix.
Season 5.
Is it just 5?
Season 5.
God, I feel like I've done so many.
Maybe it's more than that.
I feel like
thought
it's
they
way
said
more than
season
5.
but I don't know. It's been a lot. But Saini left recently. Just got back yesterday. You were gone for 4 days.
I mean, I technically say it's 3, but you can say 4.
It was Sunday. You got back Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
If it was after school morning, so we had gone through an entire day within just a morning because it's a school morning. And if you have kids, you understand that the hours before
I know, are
school
the worst.
are an entire day. So I'm counting that as a full day of you being gone. So it was 4 days.
It's so true.
I mean, it's nighttime and morning time. Getting them to school is an entire, especially as a single parent, as a dad who doesn't do that
A
often.
single mom who works 2 jobs,
Yes.
who loves her kid. Do you know what that's from?
Reba.
Thank you. I'm a survivor.
Never knew Reba until I met you, but I know lots about Reba now.
Do you know why?
But here's my question.
Okay, talk to me.
Here's my question. So for the dads or for the moms that leave and you're left at home with the kids and I want Sainty to have the best time ever, but it is extremely stressful and hardcore, but we're not presenting that to you, right? At least I thought I did my best in not doing that.
You tried. But I feel like you were like, oh, Mickey really misses you. And then I'm like,
But-
dagger, 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 dagger.
Okay, but I'm sending the pictures. We're eating on the patio dinner together. We're sending the breakfast photos. Everyone's happy. Everyone's doing amazing. Look how cute we look. It's for our school Easter day. Hair's done right. Like, send mommy all the good stuff. Let her see all the good stuff. Meanwhile, it is World War III happening at home, and I'm just like, what do I do? How do I get through this? Everything's great. Everything's amazing. You guys stop screaming at each other and let's just get to school.
Well, Mick just started to, I don't love you anymore.
Oh, we're running lots of that. Lots of that.
I don't love you, our 2-year-old.
We had tons of fun, but here's my question.
Talk to me.
Do you want to
How
know?
many times have I said, talk to me? Talk to me.
Your dad says that.
Oh, and my dad also says, what does he say? Ride.
Everything in threes, yes.
Yeah, everything. He loves the
But
classic 3.
here's my question. So when the spouse is gone, you want to hear, obviously, just all the good stuff.
Yes,
right?
suck it up.
Yes,
Because
I get
there's
that.
nothing I can do. It just ruins my time. I just
Exactly.
want your time ruined, not my time.
But we'll be on the phone. Like, here's the thing. Sandy will be like, hey, I want to FaceTime with the kids. And I'm like, I don't want to say that's a bad idea because I know how much they miss her. And I know the minute they see her, then they really, like, if I bring up your name or they even look at a picture while you're gone, it's like full, tears.
I know.
Immediately. So the FaceTime thing, great for you. But the minute it's done, it's like they
It's
want to be with
heartbreaking,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to say no FaceTiming, but what do you do? Because we did it. And then she started crying on the FaceTime. And I know that gave you anxiety and you were stressed
Oh,
about
it ruined my whole trip.
Yeah. So Do you just avoid it? And then when you get back and you're like, hey, how'd it go? Then is it okay to tell you?
No, you just suck it up. Okay, so I need to tell the people where I went.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds like I
But the answer is never say it. You don't want the truth.
Suck it up.
And I know when you're gone, but when you're back.
Nope, maybe a week later.
And I could be like, I did this. Guess how it went.
Oh my gosh. You
It's
know
really
what's so
not that
crazy?
deep. It's really not that deep.
Is I feel like guys expect moms to like thank y'all. Like, thank you for watching the kids. It's just expected for a mom to watch them.
What I would have liked is a small pat on the back to say,
To watch
"Man,
your own kids?
No, because listen, you're the one, honestly, that they're thinking about the whole time. And we had so much fun because that's my
really
distraction.
sweet. I know, that's really
I'm like,
sweet.
I'm the activity guy. We're on the trampoline, we're running around, we're at the park, we're meeting up with our cousin Janie, we're doing whatever we can do to kind of fill the time as a distraction. And I love that. I love it. But at the end of the day, when we're in bed cuddling, they're like, you know who they're thinking about.
Mama.
So I'm like, a little pat on the back to be like, yeah,
Eric,
I'm proud of those 4 days.
You did real good.
You got them to school. They looked amazing. You held down the fort. You're a great.
You are a great dad. You deserve those little bitty trophies that say best dad.
Is that so much to ask to get that pat on the back?
You know what? Congratulations for watching our kids.
When you put it like that, I mean, come on. I gotta give, we've done this before too. It wasn't my first time by any means.
You're an unbelievable dad. I'm actually extremely spoiled because I feel like a lot of dads aren't as hands-on. But because of Eric and I's job, we're either home 24/7 or we're gone 24/7. So I do get very lenient about, like, I'm just so used to you being there when you're there.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's good.
Here we go.
It was fun. It was
Okay,
fun.
you were great.
But I'm not going to say anything negative because
Please don't talk. Wait, I need to talk about where I just was, though.
Okay, real quick, and then I can't wait to talk about some things.
I just went to this place called Round Top, Texas. And it is that's not estimate. That's EST. It's a population of 90 people. But all these people from all over the world come to an antique show.
Yeah,
Yippee!
that's where she was for 4 days, looking at antiques. That's how it's been pitched to me. I've never been.
It's such a vibe. Actually, I thought last year when I went, I was like, oh my God, there is shit everywhere. Why is there? I just was so overwhelmed by the whole experience.
It
because
sounds so underwhelming and boring to me, but there must be some hidden things going on.
Yes. Now this time, the coolest things, people truly do come from all over the world. And there are things from like the 1800s. It's such a vibe. People are dressed up. There's called like Round Top royalty. You know how Coachella has like Gigi Hadid and like Vanessa Hudgens and everybody waits to see what they wear?
The like diehard Burning Man people that are like the top of the top.
The Harders.
Is this,
are
you wanting to be one of these royals?
1,000%. You know what's so sad is I really actually did go. I went to like an influencer event and I wanted so bad to be a Round Top royalty and I just wasn't. And then I feel like I try too hard.
Well, you go be royal, and we are going to live our best lives at home and not be sad about a thing.
No, I'm going to be Round Top royalty while you take care of my babies, okay?
We got it. Under control.
Okay, should we go to
Let's talk about some stuff.
Let's talk, baby.
Let's talk about, because there's a lot of crazy things happening right now in the world.
I already have a pet.
Especially this week. There are exciting things like baseball coming back. If you're a Texas Rangers fan, that happened last night.
Which is my brother, Jake.
World Series champs are back, so all eyes are on us. We're going to get into that. But I want to talk a little bit about something that somebody that I've worked with. I've been around many, many, many times on many different sets, and that's Dan Schneider. There's a documentary out right now. If you haven't seen it, it's called Quiet on Set.
It's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max. And it is incredibly
and like Discovery ID, something
hard
like that.
to watch, but it follows.
So Dan Schneider was the creator of all your favorite Nickelodeon
throughout
shows.
the 2000s.
All that.
Kenan and Kel,
Amanda
Show,
yeah.
Zoe 101, iCarly,
Victorious.
Drake and Josh, Victorious, Sam and Cat. I mean, you name it, he was Nickelodeon. Well, a lot of his former employees have kind of come together and created this documentary exposing a lot of things that happened throughout their time working for him.
And if you've kind of read Blind Items, do you know what blind items are? It's actually people submit things that have happened without using their name. And there's been a lot of talk. We've talked about Dan Schneider for years, but never has there been like an actual documentary exposing what went on, what's happening. And I feel like you can talk about it firsthand because you were there for a lot of it.
I worked with Dan Schneider on iCarly. My brother worked with Dan Schneider on Drake and Josh, so I was on set throughout all of that filming process. I was on set of Victorious because my friends were working on the show, and I got to be there and experience that through their eyes. And one of my best friends in the world has worked on pretty much every Dan Schneider show that there is. So I'm very entwined with Dan. I spent a lot of time around him and in the life. But what the documentary, we're going to get into that, but what the documentary really exposes that the world did not know about, because this actor spoke about it for the first time on the documentary, is Drake Bell being sexually abused.
Being molested by...
In horrible, I was going to say horrid and horrible at the same time, in horrid ways by the dialogue coach on the Amanda Show.
Mm-hmm.
Brian
And Peck.
His name is Brian Peck, and he's been found guilty and the whole thing. But
So we did know there were allegations, and then somebody was fired. I don't know if we actually knew if it was Brian Peck, but we didn't know who the victim was. And the victim finally came out as Drake Bell,
who we all know and love from
but
Drake and Josh.
Drake Bell has had allegations against him previously.
He did. I think he sent photos to an underage girl, but that did happen. But the documentary doesn't go into that, but it does go into him being a victim for years,
Which is such a cycle. We see a lot of time of a cycle.
His shows, and nobody knew about it, and it is incredibly painful and hard to watch. And Brian Peck deserves to
rot in hell.
To go to hell. I mean, truly, underage boy taking advantage of him in the way that he did. It's truly, it's hard to listen to. It's hard to watch, but it had to be put out there. And Drake's bravery, and I mean, I give him so much credit for coming out and talking about all this stuff because it needed to be exposed. But a lot of it is also aimed at Dan Schneider. They paint this picture that he kind of led this almost tyrant-like set.
Was like Chester the molester.
And they alluded to, storylines being very adult and sexualized for children. And
I will say, they showed Ariana Grande a lot, and we know Joan, her mom, who is the most hands-on mom, and that would never, ever, ever allow anything that she thought in her mind to be sexually like an innuendo.
In the moment, if she ever thought that, she would never allow that to happen.
Ever. So I feel like it's so hard when you're watching something. Like I was watching when Ari was like putting the water all over, and I'm like, oh my God, like it looked so foul and gross. But
when you take it out of context and you put it all in one episode, it does.
Disgusting.
Now,
and like the squirting of it, and please everybody watch this. It's truly, but I can understand, okay, where people don't understand on sets, you're doing things in short little, increments.
Scene by scene.
Scene by scene.
All out of order on different days.
And I could see children's humor is like potty humor. Like
Yes.
Molly Morgan and Mick, all they talk about is like pee pee poo poo, all the things. And so I can see why people would think that that is funny.
And here's the
But
thing.
it's fucking sick.
Here's the thing. I can only speak firsthand on what I've experienced on 3 different sets of being around Dan. And to me, it was an incredibly warm, inviting set. Dan threw me a birthday party on my 16th birthday on set. He had me a big cake, and it's all this love and happy, and everyone's having a great time.
Did he eat the cake with you?
I'm sure he had.
Remember in the documentary, he like didn't eat with that one girl. He like went away and was mad she had a big cake. Was he mad you had a big cake?
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. Maybe, but I didn't know about it.
I think Dan, I'm shocked.
But here's the thing.
I'm shocked he would turn down cake.
Here's the thing. I had an amazing experience. I did see the people massaging him, which was strange. In the moment, I never thought about it, but I was like, oh, I guess that's how sets are run.
Well, and see, that's the sad part, because you were a kid. So imagine this is why you call it grooming. As a child, they don't know the difference. Like you didn't know that that's not normal.
But here's what is known, and they're pinning him for a lot of these storylines, a lot of these very pointed sexually
Innuendos.
yes in his series. But at the bottom line is the networks have to approve everything, East and West Coast, New York and LA. Network executives all have to approve every script, every line, every prop, every actor that comes in, every actor that goes out, every hire, every dialogue coach
Yeah.
that gets hired needs to be vetted. And if two sexual predator dialogue coaches both got hired by Nickelodeon, someone's not vetting right.
I
Someone.
agree. I completely agree. But I also feel like what's so sad with these major companies, money talks. And Dan Schneider's talked. Like, he walked the walk. Everything he made was hit. So in their mind, I think you kind of ignore the bad signs because it made the money.
Yeah,
This is America, after all. People love that money, honey.
Yeah. I think there's every finger right now is being pointed at Dan, which he admit. There's a great interview. There's a post as soon as the episodes aired for Quiet on Set. One of the iCarly actors called Dan, was like, "Hey, can I interview you? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and we need to hear from the source." And so go on Dan Schneider's Instagram. I think it's like Dan Warp on Instagram. There's a link to watch this interview. It's incredibly insightful. Watch it. Watch the interview because they break down a lot. And he's ruthless on his questioning. Like, he gets right down to the core. But I think a lot of things are being pointed at Dan, as they should.
Agreed.
He admits his mistakes. But in terms of like the episodes and the sexualized things, like, networks had to approve that. Lots of other people had to approve all this. So I'm just saying there's other fingers to be pointed, and I don't think it's fair to do it all on one person here.
I feel a little bit opposite, but I mean, to each their own. I
Yeah,
just feel like
and I'm
it
not
is what it
defending
is.
any of his actions. I'm just saying I know there's a lot more behind the scenes, a lot more people that are involved that,
Need to know better,
yes.
which is
And here's the
so
craziest
effing
part, and we're
sick.
going to move on to the next topic. The craziest part is this: Brian Peck got convicted of doing the worst possible acts to Drake Bell
Raping him,
and beyond
molesting him, everything.
everything.
Sick.
Does some time or whatever, and then gets hired by Disney to be the dialogue coach on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Which is effing nuts to me. How is that even possible?
Gets hired
And
by Disney.
It's a dialogue coach. It's not like it's like this huge showrunner. Not like that's an excuse.
When you're a
but it's the
pedophile and
dialogue
a child
coach.
predator, you are on public lists everywhere.
Oh God, there's apps for it now.
He got hired by Disney to do Sweet Life of Zach and Cody after all that happened.
No, it's so.
What is going on there?
No, I feel like that's when another example of the times were very different. There's no excuse, but I just think we have more knowledge now than we did.
Yeah.
And I hope we learned better.
Yeah, as a father to children who maybe one day will want to be in entertainment, maybe they won't. Wonderful either way.
We would murder somebody.
You just have to be so involved. You have to be. I don't even know. But I think now that everything's getting exposed and everything's out there, and hopefully the networks are realizing, big time mistakes, and there needs to be a better vetting program.
Okay, but you're saying all that, and I just want to talk about something for a minute. We say that, and we're like, get involved, be there, be everything. Well, look at our kids on social media. Okay, what is that law that is in the
Florida?
kids? No. The law for kids on TV shows, like a percentage has to go to them.
Oh, it's called the Coogan account.
Coogan account.
Every child actor who works in LA gets a Coogan account, which basically saves your money. So your parents can't touch your money until you turn 18. I think it's 10, maybe 15% off the top, goes into your Coogan account, cannot be touched by anybody except for you after you turn 18.
Okay, so much of the time I feel like
Because there was a little actor, little Coogan, whose parents stole all his money. And it happened to Gary Coleman, it happened to so many. So it was put in place, and it's an amazing thing.
Okay, but we're talking about that and social media and all of that stuff. Like, well, we're like, we're the parent that's not going to let our kids do this and this and this. And somehow the kids find the way, and they're so smart. And what are we going to do about that with social media too? And I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but these kids, a lot of the time they were the breadwinners for their families, weren't they?
100%.
Okay, well, what about these kids that are like influencers? A lot of the time, these parents are making all these money off their kids to be influencers. There's nothing in place for that.
Oh, like the YouTuber kids
Yes,
and all
is
that
there,
stuff?
like, are that considered some sense of, like, a grooming? Like, I want my kids online because a part of my online persona or whatever, what I am, is my kids. I'm a
What do you mean you
mom.
want them online? Like, you want them to have accounts and stuff?
No, but I want like, if I'm out at a parade and my kids are there, I'm gonna show my kids.
Oh, like posting pictures
Yeah,
of your
posting
kids
and
on
stuff
your
on
social
them.
yeah, we post our kids all the time.
Yeah, but okay, well, they're not getting paid to be on my account. Does that make sense? And so many of these accounts, like, the kids are the faces of the accounts, but they're not getting paid, the parents are. Is there something in place for kids as influencers?
That is a great question, like a Coogan account
A Coogan account for kids
that's not
on
involved
Instagram.
in, SAG.
Which
I
is SAG is
I
our union as actors. We're protected as.
I doubt it. I doubt that there's some sort of
But are we gonna see this
protection.
exact same thing all over again? Like, where kids are gonna come out with a documentary just saying that my parents exposed me, all these people exposed me, using me for content.
Yeah. Like the kids that are unwrapping presents on YouTube and making millions of dollars and playing with toys. You're right. The parents are doing whatever they want with the money.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I think there needs to be something implemented there if it's not already, and it surely will be because there's definitely going to be a story about it. I'm surprised there hasn't been already.
No, which I think it's not old enough. Still social media, like this kind of money with social
Yeah,
media is
yeah.
fairly like new.
Couple
I
more
feel like.
years, and then they'll be like the ones that just turned 18 that were like 6-year-old stars on there or something.
And they'll have no money. They'll be broke.
Very interesting.
I know. Don't you think about that sometimes?
Yeah.
No. So April 7th, sorry, is the new episode of Quiet on Set.
Oh, yeah,
So
there's
we're
one
gonna-
more. There's a
yes.
bonus episode that they are releasing. But guys, go check it out. I mean, we all grew up watching the shows. Let me know what you think. Obviously, it's not good.
No.
But you know, wrongs need to be righted, and people.
You read that.
Exactly. So we're putting it out there. It's exposed. Speaking of exposed, we got to talk about
Dun dun dun.
Diddy,
Diddy time.
P Diddy, Sean Diddy,
Wait.
Love Combs, whatever you call him.
Oh my God, he actually has had so many names.
So many. Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. Love was one for a bit.
Stop, for real?
Swear to God.
I actually don't know what is a song he sings. I can't even think of it.
Like,
why do I know
well, the
him
irony
everywhere?
is in 1997, there was a music video that he shot where he's escaping the feds.
Oh, no surprise.
And
Daddy got a jump start.
Here he is again. His Miami house and his LA house got raided by feds the other day. And I'm talking military tank feds showing up. They detained both of his sons. He is wanted for a sex trafficking ring, scandal, thing. And it's like,
Truly Jeffrey Epstein style.
yes,
Which is
maybe it was
and
part
I
of
want to
that.
know if it's connected with that.
Nobody knows, but the crazy part is they go and they try to raid his house. His sons are there. He's not there. He flees. He somehow gets some sort of inside information, and he knows because he's escaped the law many, many times. Since November, the amount of allegations that have come out about against this man, doing things to women, it's insane. It's been one after the next.
And
one
why
lady,
isn't he not? Like,
why is he not in jail?
Yeah.
The one lady said she's fine. She'll take $30 million. So he paid her off. She's done. It's just
with
like.
sick money talks. People can just like pay off people to be silent, which is so wrong.
So if you had nothing to hide, why would you flee? Why would you disappear?
Where'd he go?
His private plane went to a private island without him on it. So now people are speculating that plane, anything that could have incriminated him was on that plane and they got rid of it. He was seen at the Miami airport, hasn't been seen since. He is wanted on this sex trafficking ring charges.
My goodness.
And they can't find him. Is that a good look?
No, it's not a
If
good
you're innocent, would you ever do something like that?
No. And well, we definitely know he's guilty. You know what's even crazier too? Is that 50 Cent was hating on Diddy. But get ready for this. His ex-girlfriend was 50 Cent.
Okay.
Was documented as one of Diddy's sex workers. And now 50 Cent is getting mad at Diddy, obviously. But now the ex-girlfriend that was a sex worker is now saying that 50 Cent raped her.
It's all just so crazy to me.
What goes around, goes around, goes around.
I don't understand how I mean, he's a billionaire. He's just been escaping the law. He's doing all these things. But we grew up idolizing these people. We grew up listening to their music. We grew up wanting to be like them. They inspired our fashion. They inspired our culture. It's just mind-blowing to me.
This is why we shouldn't idolize anybody. Just idolize yourself.
It's just crazy.
Do you think he's going to show up alive? I kind of feel like he's going to be dead. Because if he starts like spewing out Jeffrey Epstein style, like start listing names, they're going to get rid of him.
It's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to die because he's killed everybody else, I think he killed Biggie. I think he's...
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. That people have been talking about that for years. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the guy is so freaking connected and so mega rich and is in with everybody that, I mean, nothing has brought him down yet. But this is so major. Sex trafficking. And it's just, this is becoming such an epidemic. It's so sad and so scary.
And the fact that this even freaking exists baffles me. So Eric and I are involved with an organization called The Net. Look it up.
It's here in Fort Worth.
Yes, look up Worthy Co., which is the survivors of sex trafficking work at this place called Worthy Co., and they do gifts and candles and all these things. But the fact that this exists, and most of the time it happens like with people you know.
Yes.
Like when I think of sex trafficking, I think you're going to be picked up on the side of the road and be sold. But that's not how it works. Most of the time you're groomed.
Right.
Dan Schneider, groomed.
It does start with grooming, and it starts with stalking, and it starts with all of these things, and it grows. And it's hard to wrap my head around. I still don't really get the whole thing, and I don't know how it seems to be popular amongst all these.
No, I really do want to know. We need to ask our parents. Like, I don't remember hearing about sex trafficking growing up.
I never once heard about it until the last,
like couple years.
Yeah.
Now, what about, do you remember the program Dare?
Yeah, Double Dare 2000. Come on now. Mark Summers.
No, not that.
Oh, wait.
Not that Dare.
Oh, my buddy Jason Harris, he hosted it too.
No, Dare like at school.
Oh, Truth or Dare?
No, oh my God, the Dare program.
Drug abuse resistance education.
Thank you.
Yeah,
oh my God.
You got to put on the drunk goggles and be like, this is what it looks like when you drink, and that made me want to drink. I was like, this is awesome.
I am dying. Oh my God, that Dare. That's all I remember growing up. Like that was, see, I was the age where it was Natalie Holloway, John Bonet. If you were a blonde little girl, you were going to be taken.
Oh yeah.
But you weren't going to be taken to be sold. You were going to be taken to be killed.
Right. Now you're taken, like it's all sex trafficking. It's just so
If there's
crazy.
one thing that you could find out in the world, what would you find out? Like if you could ask God, like
you're trying to get at who killed John Bonet.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What would you want to know?
I don't know. I got to think about that.
Isn't that a good one?
Yeah, that is a good one.
If you could have 3 people sit at your table, your last, like your round table, like what is the table? Oh my gosh, the Christians are going to come after me and I'm the biggest Christian. What is the big table, like with Jesus in the middle?
That's the Last Supper.
Yeah,
This is Easter weekend. Come on, you gotta know these things.
I just had a brain toot. Okay, the Last Supper. Who are the 3 people that be at your Last Supper?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's the cliche. It's you and my kids.
Well, I know that. Oh my gosh.
All right, but really, it's probably like
yeah.
Steven Spielberg, like dead or alive.
Either or.
Oh my god, this is hard.
I'll tell you mine. Chris Farley.
Okay, great. I knew you were gonna ask me.
Chris Farley, Elvis Presley.
Oh, so cool.
And I'd love Mary Tyler. Or either Mary Tyler Moore or Lucille Ball.
I'd probably go like Kurt Cobain, Steven Spielberg, maybe like a William Shakespeare.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
gag.
What do you mean
Boring.
gag?
He'd be like, "Where art thou?"
No,
Eric
but like
Nelson?
modernize him. Like let me talk to him like, day to
Like
day.
shooting the shit with William Shakespeare.
Yeah, he's got some good knowledge. Like that'd be cool.
Wait, should we tell the listeners my Chris Farley?
Obsession?
Yes, if anybody knows me, my best friends in the world, I truly believe Eric was not my first love. Chris Farley was my first love.
This is true.
And I believe that if he would have met me, he'd still be alive today. Some would say I'm a chubby chaser or a fat fetish.
But I mean, I would not be against that at all. Chris
No,
Farley's
but
the
I
funniest
truly
human being.
believe I love like, lay off me, I'm starving, is me. I feel like that is why
guy in a little
Little
yeah, he's amazing. He's
coat.
amazing.
I feel like Heather McMahon is my favorite because sometimes she does that low voice, like really low, like that. And it kind of gives me Chris Farley vibes when she does her voice low like that. And I feel like that's why I love her.
I got a question.
Talk to me.
What does
Again,
this name
Jesus Christ. I need
mean
to
to
stop saying
you?
that.
What does this name mean to you?
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani. It's not a joke. Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei.
Do you know who that is? Shohei Ohtani. Do you know that name?
No. It sounds Shohei Ohtani. I don't know. It sounds like a figure skater or a character in Moana.
It could be a character in Moana. It could be a superhero. Shohei Ohtani is a baseball player from Japan who plays in America.
And today is baseball season.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Go Rangers. Shohei Ohtani has made headlines for getting the biggest contract in North American sports history.
More than LeBron?
More than anybody. $700 million for 10 years of playing.
Which that's kind of a long time. Like, do baseball players make it that long?
Honey, he's like,
I usually feel like
$70
it's like
million
a 3
a
years.
year.
A year?
$70 million a year is what that comes out to.
Oh, so it's $7 million a year.
70 million, not 7.
So he'll make $700 million.
Yes, in 10 years.
That's ridiculous.
Insane. He's a baseball player, plays on the
And
Dodgers.
I've never heard of him.
Yes, I'm telling you, this guy's the face of MLB, but he's got a scandal.
Talk to me.
He
Oh my
is-
God. I'm going to have to edit the talk to me. I swear, y'all, I'm never going to say that
This is
again.
your thing. This is your new
No,
thing.
I've never said that in my life, and I've said it 155 this episode.
Well,
I just feel like it's so like in the moment. Like, tell me. There you go.
tell me.
Tell me.
He's made ridiculous amounts of money, ridiculous amount of headlines. He is the face of baseball right now. Everyone
Mhm.
wants to watch him. Everyone wants to be interested. Whatever.
Tell me more.
well,
Tell me more.
He speaks zero English. He's from Japan. He has an interpreter that he does everything with. This is not just a lot of baseball players, a lot of sports figures have had interpreters and they interpret for
it's
them
his bestie.
in interviews. No. Normally they're just their interpreters. This guy is his coach. It's his best friend. It is his chauffeur. It is his life guy. He does everything for Shohei.
Yeah.
And he has now gotten himself in trouble. And apparently,
To today, Junior.
$4.5 million has been stolen from Shohei from his interpreter, best friend, life coach, lifelong partner.
Why?
Well, when it first came out that this money went missing, it was because Shohei said, oh, he gave it to his interpreter because he was in some gambling debt. Fully taking the blame. Then he flips his story when everyone digs into it further and realizes that it came from Shohei's account into the gambler, this illegal book that he wasn't supposed to be involved with, and sent them $4.5 million. So now he backtracked and is like, actually, my interpreter stole that money from me. It wasn't mine.
Okay. So for illegal gambling,
Yes.
well, is it illegal in all places?
I
Or
think
like-
like 30 states.
Okay, that's just dumb though.
What
Like
do you
it's like getting
mean?
arrested in Texas for smoking weed. Like it's legal most places.
But yeah, but it's still, I mean,
But
this
I
is-
mean, like, come on. Like 4.5, if he's making $700 million a year.
it could be $1. The point is, it's
But is it illegal? Like, if they were in Nevada, would he be arrested? There has to be more. Like, does illegal gambling mean just it's illegal in that state? Or is it like undercover? Actually, that's a really good question.
I don't know, but I know the accusations are it was illegally sent to this online book for gambling of $4.5 million.
Illegal gambling, doesn't that mean sometimes like you're involved? It's almost like illegal trading. Kind of like that, maybe?
What do you mean?
Like illegal trading means like a company's going to go under. So you like sell all your
insider
stocks.
trading.
Insider trading.
Yeah, no,
is it
this
like
is
that almost?
It is.
Do you know what I
It
mean?
is in the fact that they're both illegal. Yes, but it's not in terms of logistics. I mean, he's betting millions of dollars.
Is he still playing?
He's still playing because he flipped the switch once he realized that they were going to come after him for
So he
it.
put his poor friend, or is his friend taking the blame? Have we heard from the friend?
I don't know if somebody's taking the blame or not, but Shohei is acting extremely hurt, and I can't believe he betrayed me, and all these things. This was my best friend. This was my coach. This is my mentor. This is my teacher. This is
But
everything.
at first he said he let him
But
borrow
at
it.
first he's like, oh yeah, I just let him borrow so he can get out of gambling trouble. So now he flipped the switch. So what?
Shohei.
I'm telling you.
You better
But
keep that Shohei.
But he's on the field playing, so we'll see how that goes
What
down.
position does he play, Eric?
He is a baseball player for the Dodgers.
LA Dodgers?
Yes. I don't know what position, but he's a hell of a hitter. I can tell you that. He pops that thing out of the park.
He's got to be like a pitcher, right? I feel like pitchers get the most press.
Maybe. I should know. And he's the face of baseball. But I'm not like the biggest baseball fan. I'm just excited for the Dodgers. I mean, for the Rangers, because we live in Texas and it's been so exciting to see them.
Baseball is so freaking long.
And yeah, there's that. But
God, it's so fun.
it's amazing.
What is Aaron Rodgers up to? Not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodriguez. Is he arrested? When
A-Rod.
he in skid? Yeah, when A-Rod in trouble?
There is something. I don't remember.
Oh, we should find that out.
Yeah.
If you saw, do you know J-Lo has a new documentary? Didn't they date forever and ever?
Does she really?
Yeah, and it's actually really good. It's about her love story with Ben, and she put all of her own money into it, which is actually very impressive. So good for you, J-Lo.
Well, I hope they last again this time.
I think they will. She always said that was like her real love. Am I your first and only love?
Yeah, but I didn't understand that. So they were together. Yes, of course.
Thank you.
But like on the J-Lo thing, I didn't get so they were together. Were they married and then they divorced and then they did other things and they came back together? Now they're married again or just together?
Married again.
Interesting.
That happens to a lot of people, though. I feel like a lot of divorced couples will get divorced and then they get remarried. Because people think the girl. What's that, Sandy? The grass is always greener on the other side. Always look
You had
on
something-
the bright side of life.
You had something you were gonna say that was like you learned that was crazy.
Okay. Do you know ChatGPT?
Yes, AI.
AI, all that.
Yes.
Do you know that they are writing like stock books, like in portfolios for people now?
What?
So all these stockbrokers are now getting upset because ChatGPT is writing them a portfolio, and people are actually getting money,
and it's
and it's
successful.
working. But all the stockbrokers
What?
are now saying like, no, don't do that. But you know why? They're going to be picketing in the streets.
Wait. So AI is now they're turning to AI to help
write their portfolio.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
but wouldn't that kind of be like insider trading too? Because don't you think
This
AI
is a
would
new
already
thing.
know?
There's no rules on this AI yet.
would
That's
think-
why us actors just went on like over 100-day strike for this reason, because they're taking now jobs from actors. You can do voiceover on AI. They can create your likeness and implement it somewhere else. It's crazy because the possibilities are endless. And now they're doing the stock market.
I actually think the girl that voiced the Olympics for like a gajillion years just got AI too.
Wait, before it gets illegal, we could make money on AI stock choosing?
We tell the people where some of our stock is. We invest as in pot stock.
No, but
We used to be, weren't we?
this is really a thing, huh?
Yeah, it's actually a thing.
Wow.
Which is extremely wild.
that is really wild.
How do you feel about AI?
I mean, it's very, very, very scary because there's so many unknowns of what it can conquer and what it can do, but it's also incredibly ingenious and cool and like gives us all these other opportunities. So it's like a fine line, but we really need to find the divide on what's culturally, morally acceptable with it and what's not.
Okay, do you remember the
And
show?
that's going to be very, very hard to differentiate.
Do you know the show Smart House from Nickelodeon? Or no, Disney. Do you remember that show from the 90s? It was like a movie.
Yeah. Where
And the
like,
whole house is smart.
it was Alexa before Alexa.
Yes, but whoa, which is actually so true. People are always like, I don't want Alexa hearing me. I would love it if Alexa heard me. I don't do
really-
anything wrong.
I'm like,
If
hey.
I'm in trouble, Alexa, she's there.
Well, there is a story of somebody who was severely like getting beaten or something, and she was like screaming for her life. And Alexa called the police. The police showed up because of Alexa.
See,
She didn't say, Alexa, do this. So it did end up becoming a court case because it's like against,
AIs and all that.
human rights or whatever. But
yes,
but it saved her life. So I don't know. It's interesting.
we're gonna get replaced by AI. It's gonna be the Glamour and Grit AI.
Well, we were until the actors went on strike, and now we will not. So
Well, this isn't SAG.
this
So-
is not. You're right.
So voiceovers, I wonder if we could get replaced. I actually should look that up. I should call my union,
Well, if it's SAG, it won't. That law's been passed. It'll never happen.
but I don't think podcasts are SAG.
But now stockbrokers need to go on strike, and all these other professions sounds like might need to go on strike because it's coming for
I
their
wonder
jobs.
if teachers one day are going to be, because I'm sorry. I need to stand up for the teachers. Teachers should be paid way more because they help raise our children.
1,000%.
But do you think one day teachers, they'll do it all on a screen? Well, you did online school, so that technically, like, you AI'd it before.
Yeah, but I mean, homeschool and online school has been around, that's a common,
You just wonder if I wonder if teachers like Zoom over.
because there's online colleges, that's very helpful for people.
Oh, yeah, that is very
because I was
true.
working full time and still
Yeah.
able to go to school because of online. But the teachers and stuff, like the syllabus, everything was still by an actual human. It's not like,
Yeah, but they could do it like one time and like pre-record it and that'd be it.
it's true.
And be like, hey, Jeffrey, look.
It's true.
I love that.
Well, we
Wow.
covered a lot of good stuff.
Oh my God, I'm exhausted. Wait, before we like to leave every episode, we like to say our glamour and our grit. So, Eric, what is your glamour and your grit?
Of today?
Or of anything?
I mean, so the grit was having to re-record
Amen.
because we had some technical difficulties. That was incredibly, but we got through it.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I was thinking it and didn't say it, and then laughed about what I said in my head, and that happens sometimes. I was just thinking about like how stressful it was, but yeah, we got through it.
It's even better. I actually like this episode 1,000 times better.
Oh, it's
than
been
the one
so much
before.
fun. And my glamour is that everyone gets to finally listen to this.
Oh my gosh, freaking finally. My glamour is that you guys have been so patient with us and you're actually listening and you're going to keep listening because we want to be your at-home friends.
And do your grit, and then we got to give a little Easter egg on who's coming Monday.
Okay. And my grit is I am starving.
Okay.
I literally cannot wait to eat breakfast.
We got to give this girl some grub.
I've got to eat. I am literally, I'm withering away.
So Monday,
and that says a lot.
Monday's our Celebrity Monday. Our first Celebrity Monday. We've got 2 guests that are, let's give a little slight hint.
Okay, if it's Monday, these people may not have work on Monday.
They may not have a job.
May not.
And another hint, they are married.
Ooh, I like that.
They're married.
Now it's time for me to eat some toast.
We're going to go eat some toast, and we're going to see you guys on Monday. And we're so happy you were here with us today on our day 1, Glamour and Grit.
Yay! Subscribe, like, do all the things. We're now family. See you Monday.
Love y'all. Thank you.